All right, so we're doing question number 7. The obsession of economists with consumption as a measure of economic well-being has prevented us from understanding the true nature of economic well-being. We get very little satisfaction out of the fact that our clothing wears out, our automobiles depreciate, and the gasoline in our tanks burns up and must be replaced. The author is arguing that. So, we are trying to find the main conclusion here. There are only two sentences, so you can pause right now and guess which one or decide which one you think is the main conclusion. But the correct answer is the first sentence right here. The obsession of economists with consumption as a measure of economic well-being has prevented us from understanding the true nature of economic well-being. And this is the main conclusion because this next sentence is a premise. It's kind of proving why we get why this obsession has prevented us from understanding the true nature of economic well-being. And that's because we get very little satisfaction out of the fact that our clothing wears out. These are examples of why and proving why the first sentence is so. So this is why the first sentence is the main conclusion. Now we need to find an answer choice that most closely resembles what I underlined is saying, or most closely resembles in the answer choices. So let's start with A. Economic well-being cannot be defined solely in terms of consumption. I kind of like this. I'm going to keep this, but I'm going to keep moving on. But I like it because it's kind of what the first sentence is saying. This is saying that our obsession with consumption as a measure of what economic well-being is, it's hindered us from truly understanding what it means, or what it means to what economic well-being means. So I'm like that because it's kind of saying that we can't just use consumption to define what the true nature of economic well-being is. B. Satisfaction is possible without consumption. I wouldn't necessarily say that the stimulus as a whole is saying that, but also, especially what we've underlined as the main conclusion, is that what it's saying? It's simply saying that consumption as a measure of economic well-being has prevented us from understanding what it truly means and the true nature of it. So I would say no to B. C. Valid measures of consumption cannot be devised. Are we saying whether this obsession or whether consumption is valid or not? That's not what we're saying. We're just saying that our obsession with it as a measure of it or a representation of economic well-being has taken away from the true nature of it or what it means. So I would take C out. D. Modern products are designed for early obsolescence. Now this, I simply don't like this answer, right? I'm trying to formulate a reason for it to be wrong, other than it's just doesn't sound good or doesn't sound right. But modern products are designed for early obsolescence. Is that it's kind of the second sentence is kind of what that's saying, but you'd be taking it a step further, and we cannot do that for top-down questions. E. Satisfaction can provide an adequate quantitative measure of economic well-being. Is that what the first sentence is saying? It's actually not even talking about what would provide a good measure or what would suffice as understanding the true nature of economic well-being. It's just saying that consumption as a measure of economic well-being has prevented us from understanding the true nature of it. So I would take E out. And then we're left with A. And I liked A from the beginning just because of this key terms right here cannot be defined solely in terms of consumption. So this obsession we have with consumption as using it as a measure, it's hindered us from understanding the true nature of it, and therefore it cannot be the only thing that we base economic well-being on. And therefore, that is why A is the correct answer.